What is up, guys? This is Zypha here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to make sort of like an update video, if you will, on the whole topic of thumbnail stealing. And I know you might be sat there thinking, oh, this video is just so unnecessary. Why are you making this? You didn't need to make another one. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to clear up any frustration, and I also want to address the whole issue to you guys again. But also I want to reach some kind of conclusion so that I can basically clear up any issues, because there's been a lot of stuff going on in the last few days since I've been copyright claiming people for taking my thumbnails. And yeah, anyway, we're just gonna get straight into it. So I want to firstly say thank you to everyone that has reached out to me about the issue, and they've been open and honest and also not rude and aggravated about the whole thing, because I know obviously it's hard not to be annoyed at someone for filing you a copyright complaint, but at the same time it doesn't help coming to the original owner that filed the strike against you and then basically mouthing them off on email or in their comment section. That most likely won't get you anywhere, and I'm just saying, if you want to do that to me, I'm more likely to keep your strike on your channel. Now, I want to say apologies for the last time I talked about this in the video I made first, which I'll leave a card at the top of the video if you want to go watch that. I probably sounded a little bit frustrated, as you might have been able to tell, and I didn't want to put the whole thing across to you guys in a way that sounds really harsh, and the way I did sound harsh, and I apologize for that. But as you can imagine, I was very annoyed whilst recording that video because a lot of people had just basically pinched my thumbnail without my permission or giving credit or anything like that, and that really started to annoy me. Obviously, I hope you guys can also understand why I didn't warn most of you about your copyright strikes. I didn't warn a lot of you because there was that many people doing it that I didn't have the time to go and write individual messages on each person's video about removing it. Obviously, I could have copied and pasted it, but that wouldn't have done much either, because some people never reply to comments, and if they do, it takes them like ages. So I thought the quickest way that I can solve the issue before more people start pinching them is just to take down the videos of all the people that I've seen so far. And obviously, I've had some people who are very understanding, they're very open and honest about the fact that they pinched my thumbnails, and they've came to me and they've apologized, and they weren't being pricks, essentially. But there have been other people who have just mouthed me off on email, in my comments section, disliking my videos, all kinds of shit, and it really doesn't help. And if you really wanted somebody to remove your copyright strike, that isn't the right way to go about it. Getting all mad at someone, being negative, taking it out on content which has nothing to do with the situation. For example, my Five Nights at Freddy's videos, I've had countless dislikes, and I am tempted to say that a few of them are from the well-known infamous dislike spammers on my channel. I am tempted to say that at least 2 or 3 of them each video are from them, but I'm also convinced that a lot of the dislikes are from the people who got copyright strikes from me and they want to take it out on my content, which just doesn't make any sense to me, because a Five Nights at Freddy's video has nothing to do with a copyright strike you got for taking my montage thumbnail. That is a completely different situation. It just shows a lack of understanding and how immature some people are with dealing with copyright strikes. And I think a lot of the people that pinched my thumbnail, I'm not even trying to say this in an offending way, I think most of the people that did it are probably kids. Like, they're probably beneath the age of 16, and they don't know the right way to go about it. So instead, they go and leave rude remarks and comments in your comment section in some kind of way to say, hey, fuck you gave me a copyright strike. And if you are doing that, I'm just saying, if you wanted even the slightest chance of me removing your copyright strike, that's not the right way to go about it, and it's not going to fix things at all. Now, I'm not going to go out and read every single email that I got, because I've had like nearly 3 or 4 people come into contact with me on Gmail. I do want to say that the guy called Nixon, who I copyright striked, he was a bit confused about why I filed the copyright strike, because apparently he was in the process of removing the thumbnail and he put it on temporarily because he was trying to make, I don't know, he had some kind of issue apparently making a thumbnail, and apparently I ended up copyright striking him as he had finished basically making his own thumbnail in Photoshop. So I really apologize to that guy for doing that. I would remove it, but I want to leave the copyright copyright strikes on every person that I've filed one against, because I think if I just take it off, that's going to look like a sign of weakness and like I'm giving in to you guys that have been striked, and also you won't learn your lesson. You know, I know that sounds really cringy probably, but the whole point of giving somebody a strike is so that they know next time not to do it. And if I just went and removed it, then those people might think, oh, well, he's removed it now, I guess I can go and do it again. And even if you're really nice and honest and open and apologetic on email or comment section, that doesn't mean I'm going to be any more likely to remove your strike, just purely because anybody is capable of doing it again. And I want everyone who's done it to understand that you can't go around doing that, and you do essentially need to learn your lesson for doing it. So yeah, if Nixon is watching this video, I just want to say it once again, apologies for filing a copyright claim. I had no idea that you were removing it, and I only found out after I'd given you the copyright strike that apparently you were in the process of getting it removed and changed. Just for everybody watching this that has had a strike, can I just put it out there that there is no need to come and mouth me off. There's no need to get really rude with me and aggravated and start basically taking it out on my content. The fact is, these copyright strikes are there to basically show that you shouldn't just go out and pinch people's thumbnails without permission. If you did get one, there is no point crying about it, getting all rude and stroppy with me, because believe it or not, these strikes don't affect your channel permanently. They actually get removed after 90 days or 3 months, in other words. So it's not going to be a long-term problem that's going to affect your channel severely. In fact, it gets removed after 3 months. So as long as you don't pinch any more thumbnails in that 90 days, then you're sorted, because once that's taken off and it's expired, that copyright strike isn't going to stay on your channel any longer than the 90 days that it's on for. So to come and cry about it and to give me loads of hurdles of abuse in my comment section, it's really not worth it, if you ask me. So I've not had an awful lot of emails. I've had about 3 probably at the most. I can't show you the Nixon guys because I'm pretty sure I removed it after it being like 3 days ago or something since I got it. So I removed it there and then. But one I want to highlight is the guy 𝓬𝓬𝓬𝓪𝓼. So I think you guys might know who that is. It's basically the guy that plastered a Doge PNG over my thumbnail essentially and thought he'd get away with it. So I'll show you guys what he said to me. He said, "Zypha, I recently got a copyright strike from your channel. I don't know what for. I didn't even steal anything." Are you fucking sure? If you could please contact me on Discord. And then he put his Discord information, which I will blur out obviously, because, you know, I'm not going to go and expose everyone's Discords on here. Obviously, I left my response. You can read that if you want to. I'll pop it on screen now for a couple of seconds. He then responded saying, "I didn't steal your thumbnail on the Rockstar video. I only took inspiration from that one. This is how mine looked like. And yes, it looks like I stole it. But no, I just made my own. I am very sorry if you think that I stole it. But no, that's just inspiration." And I just want to say real quick, that is not the thumbnail he used. He used this one right here. So the one that he's just shown me is actually quite different. And it's not basically the same thumbnail. It's actually quite different, but it just has a very similar layout of text. So that thumbnail, if I'd saw that on the search results, I'd be like, oh, well, he's used the actual text format from my thumbnail, but I wouldn't be as bothered as the one that you used before, which was blatantly my thumbnail, but with just a Doge plastered over it. So then I left my response here. Obviously, once again, I'll pop it up for a few seconds if you want to read it. Then he said, "And that's how I see that you're just a kid. You are calling someone out for stealing, crying, etc. I don't need your answers anymore. It's just basically BS. Having the same layout with colours and letter font doesn't mean I stole it. Then everyone is basically stealing, aren't they? Have a nice day." So that guy was very fucking annoyed at me. I don't know why. Obviously, I understand that there will be frustration when you get a copyright strike, but to say that I'm just a kid, basically calling me a kid because I filed a copyright claim for something that was eligible in the first place to get removed, is just sad. Like, you can't call someone a kid because they took action for something that they're actually able to, because it's in YouTube's terms of service that pinching thumbnails and other people's content isn't fair use. So I had every reason to do it. And the fact that he just sat there and said that it's basically BS is like he's trying to say initially that me filing a copyright complaint wasn't worth it, and that it's just something that I did because I did it out of anger, which I didn't. I wasn't even angry when I filed the complaint. I just filed it because you can't go around and steal people's things and expect to get away with it. That's why I did it. It's not bullshit. That's just how it is. So just take it as it comes, mate. Don't fucking shouldn't sit there and complain, because it isn't bullshit, and you are quite clearly crying about it. Now, obviously, I'll let you guys read my response there. It's quite long, so I'm not going to read it. So yeah, that was that. That was quite interesting, actually. I know this video is coming on quite long now, so I want to get through this as quick as possible. But yeah, once again, if you did send me a nice email, just, you know, apologising and being understanding, I really appreciate that you didn't come and attack me and send a very abusive email, because that's not going to get you anywhere, and I'm actually more likely not going to remove your strike, even though I'm not going to do it at all for any of the people, because I think people need to understand where they've gone wrong, and removing it would just completely defeat that purpose. And what I'm trying to say is, if there even was a slight chance of me removing your copyright strike, you've basically blown it by coming to me and being rude, because that's going to make me less likely to remove it. Just before we move on though, there is one more email I wanted to show you guys, and yes, you might be able to tell that this clip sounds a little bit different to the rest of the video, and that's because I am recording this little clip here on a different day. But anyways, the email I received was from 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵, and they said to me, "You took down my video for using your thumbnail, and I just want to say you're an idiot who sits in their parents' basement and plays video games all day and ruins kids' channels because they use your awful thumbnails, so have a bad day." Honestly, that is probably the most petty and immature email I've ever received. And honestly, whoever's written this must be like 10 years old, because the fact that they're calling me an idiot, like that's meant to offend me, and then going on to accuse me of basically being a lazy ass that sits in their parents' basement playing video games is just so fucking sad, to accuse someone of being that just because you got a copyright strike, which comes off in 3 months anyway. Like, that's probably one of the most toxic emails I've received so far. And to call my thumbnails awful after your channel blatantly pinched them in the first place is just so ironic to me, because if they were that bad, you wouldn't have pinched them in the first place. And then to sign it off as have a bad day, honestly, like, that is just so immature. I don't care what they say, that is immature, and it just really reflects how just childish the person is that wrote this. So yeah, anyways, here's my response in case you guys want to read it. But yeah, anyways, let's move on. Now, I want to quickly show you guys some comments I received. So I've had quite a few of these. One in particular that was from a guy called Don't Click My Channel Picture. His actual comment didn't go through, and I think YouTube removed it, or maybe he removed it. And that was on my lemonade montage, and he said, the thumbnail is awful. Take in mind, this guy is apparently from 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓵 channel, I'm pretty sure. So to say that my thumbnail is awful must show how much of a shit logic you have, because surely if the channel that you're a part of took my thumbnail in the first place, there must have been something very good about it for you to steal it. There was even another guy called 𝓲𝓪𝓼 who said, "How do you make those thumbnails? They are so bad." Again, I'm assuming this guy's mates with those lot, and if it was that bad, they wouldn't have fucking pinched it. That's just common sense. I also got one from the actual gamers themselves, 𝓢𝓸𝓬𝓲𝓪𝓼 channel, but it didn't go through either. I will pop it up on screen. It is in my notification section. Obviously, it does chop off at the end, but I think what they were trying to say is cause harm to other small creators or small channels. And I just want to say it isn't causing harm. At the end of the day, I had every right to remove your video for copyright, and it's not causing harm to you because like I said earlier in the video, the copyright strike does essentially get removed after 3 months anyway, so it's not going to affect you long term or damage your channel. Another guy called Basic Cash said, "Lol, you know what's funny? I am part of the YouTube channel The Gamers, and we did not mean any harm. You just need to chill." So yeah, that was quite funny, but the one I wanted to highlight the most was the tryhard dude who came to my flex montage and said, "The fuck, you filed a copyright complaint because it's my friend's thumbnail?" Which I think we all know well and truly it isn't your friend's thumbnail, it belongs to me. I will show you guys the strand. These are all of the individual comments. Even the guy Crayola came in and said, "LeMayo, would have been nice if you just told me which thumbnail was yours." Childish. It's just not childish at all though. I had every reason to do it, and it's on the YouTube's terms of service, so call me childish all you fucking like, but you're the only one here that's being childish because you can't accept that you got a fucking copyright strike. It's not gonna kill you, mate. Just calm down. And what I also wanted to mention is the tryhard guy even said another comment saying, "I can just repost. Have fun with your life, dumbass." I love that he can't spell the word dumbass. That's just the most comical part about it all. There was my response there if you want to read it, and then he said below that, "I will, and use my friend's thumbnail." Again, just quit being petty with the whole "it's my friend's thumbnail" thing, because you know well and truly that it doesn't belong to your mate at all, and chances are you probably pinched it from Google Images, considering that my thing pops up as one of the first results. And yeah, so that's basically all of the hate, I guess you could say, that I received from people for the whole thumbnail pinching situation. And if I get any more, I'm just going to ignore them. You might as well come and watch this video because this basically clears it all up. And I want to reach a conclusion, and that is that I might in future warn people about it, but maybe I won't, because I shouldn't have to warn people if it's their fault in the first place for taking something that doesn't belong to them. At the end of the day, you have to understand why I, gave you a copyright strike. It's pretty fucking obvious. So yeah, hopefully this video isn't too long, and I would have given you a warning, but like I say, I've got to a point where I don't want to see anyone nicking my thumbnails at this point, because I spend countless hours making them, and yeah, it's just got to a point where it's a lot easier if I just remove all the videos that have done so. And also, I want to show my montage playlist real quick. I will scroll through it for you guys so you can see that there is actually a reoccurring pattern of each montage thumbnail. I keep a very similar style, as you might be able to see. And to that guy that says the thumbnail belongs to his friend, you obviously must be very clapped if you're going to sit there and say, oh no, that's not yours, it belongs to my friend. You can see from looking at that playlist that it's my thumbnail, and you can see that there's a very noticeable, clear, reoccurring pattern between every thumbnail. So just sit there and deny it all you like, but obviously if people want to be immature and deal with the situation in the worst way possible, then that's up to the people that do it, of course. I can't do anything about that. So hopefully I don't receive any more criticism and negative comments going forward from this video, because this should have hopefully cleared it up. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This one was quite informative, and I thought it was a good idea if I decided to, update you all on the current situation that's going on with that. And obviously, I hope that you watch the full video. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I did leave a disclaimer saying to you guys to watch the full thing, because it only makes sense if you do, and that way you get all the information that's necessary, and just to clear stuff up in general. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, by any means, leave a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and I shall see you all in my next video. Goodbye.